Morning, Martin.
What do you want?
Time for a road trip.
Oh, that's good, because there's nothing in this. Let's go. Hang on, I need clothes.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. So, Martin, do you know where I'm going to take you first?
I don't, but I really am hoping it's another smashing adventure.
Well, you will be correct. We're going to road trip to Northamptonshire to do all the fun place names in Northamptonshire. However, we're not going to start in Northamptonshire.
Oh?
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because we're going to go to Gotham.
Wow, I love Batman.
Well, I mean, I say Gotham. The locals would tell you it's pronounced Gotham, but they would be wrong. It is actually Gotham, and it is the home of Batman. And you'll see why once we get to Northampton. But first...
To the Batmobile. This is an interesting looking Batmobile. I always thought the Batmobile would be an auto. I'm not going to lie.
What a delightfully grey day, Martin.
Typical autumn weather.
Indeed. Martin, we have arrived in the home of Batman.
Batman. Na.
I just realised we're actually following a bus that says Gotham on the back.
Does it?
Yeah, the old cooperative day nursery,
Oh, yeah.
Wallace Street, Gotham.
Gotham.
If you live in Gotham and you're shouting at the screen right now going, it's not Gotham, it's Gotham, well, you're wrong, it's spelled Gotham.
Also, we know, but you're also wrong.
Yeah. So Martin, we've made it to Gotham. Have you any idea why we're at Gotham?
To find Batman?
Well, kind of, because our next stop is into Northampton, and we're going to go to Batman's Drive.
Let's go and find Batman!
Woohoo! So Martin, that was Gotham. Next
Yes.
stop, Batman's Drive.
What does Batman drive?
I don't know. Batmobile?
I suppose that's right. Go right here, may as well. I'm like a sat nav.
You are.
Turn right.
The route is being calculated. Now turn right.
So, Batman's Drive. I thought it was a very odd name for a road. However, I did a little bit of looking around. There is a school next door that does have a cricket pitch. So I realised it might not actually be related to a superhero, sadly.
Oh, it's the Batman, as in a batter.
As in the batter. So I think it is the drive of, or next to, because it's a fairly new estate by looks of things, next to where there would have been a cricket pitch. So it's the Batman's Drive. So sadly, I've lulled you into a false sense of security by starting you off at Gotham.
Cancel the trip. Cancel the trip.
You want to go back to the future? We'll start again, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, funny you should say that, because there is a Lone Pines Close en route, or Lone Pines Crescent, I think it might actually be.
Oh dear.
So
It's a very sci-fi day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's turned into like a film tour.
Love it. Love it. I can give you a story about Gotham if you like.
Yeah, tell me what you've learnt about Gotham, what you know about Gotham.
I heard this story about them all being idiots, and I thought, well, that's a bit insulting to themselves. But it turns out it's to do with a story called The Wise Men of Gotham, in allusion to an incident where they supposedly feigned idiocy to avoid a royal visit. And the story goes that King John intended to travel through the neighbourhood, and at that time in England, any road the king travelled on had to be made a public highway. The people of Gotham didn't want that, as can also be seen now by the fact they have their own bypass. So the villagers feigned imbecility when the royal messengers arrived. So wherever the messengers went, they saw the rustics engaged in some absurd task. Based on this report, John determined to have his hunting lodge elsewhere, and the wise men boasted, "We ween there are more fools pass through Gotham than remain in it." King John's messengers found some of the inhabitants engaged in endeavouring to drown an eel in a pool of water. Some were employed in dragging carts upon a large barn to shade the wood from the sun, and others were tumbling their cheeses down a hill so that they may find their way to Nottingham for sale. And it's probably the most famous one is that some were employed in hedging in a cuckoo, which had perched upon an old bush which stood where the present one now stands. And there is actually a pub called the Cuckoo in Bush, I think it is, in Gotham still from that story. But it meant that they were all employed in some foolish way or other which convinced the king's servants that it was a village of fools, whence accrues the old adage, the wise men of Gotham, or the fools of Gotham. So yeah, it seems it was mentioned as early as the 15th century, and it was published in the 16th century under the title The Merry Tales of the Madmen of Gotham.
So we're en route to Northampton. In fact, we're in Northamptonshire.
We are.
Now.
We've just made it.
And we made a little invert stop. We found a cool place name. Check that out. That would be Mercedes Avenue.
John,
what on earth would that be for?
Why just in the middle of Northamptonshire?
Who knows? So you might be wondering why we've come to Lone Pine Court. Well, those of a certain era will remember the Back to the Future films, and as we're having a bit of a film morning, going from Gotham to Batsman Drive, we thought, why not stop at this strange place, which we've literally come right past in Brixworth. So unfortunately I can't see one or two pine trees, but maybe it was once called Twin Pines Court, who knows. Anywho, on to Batsman's Drive. So, Martin,
hello.
We have visited Lone Pine Close on the way to Batsman Drive, which
Okay.
was a bit of an unexpected detour, but why not when you're a big fan of Back to the Future like
Well,
I am?
and we got to see AMG, so...
Yeah, we eventually discovered there's this strange place called Mercedes Avenue. Turns out, it's where they make engines for Mercedes Formula 1. Who'd have thought?
They won't go far.
No.
Things you didn't know about Northamptonshire. So, Northampton has its own accent, but it changes if you travel across to Stratton, Brixworth, Wellingborough or Rushden. Each pocket of Northampton has a slightly different twang. According to stories passed down the generations, residents of E02 Ho in Northamptonshire would pay part of their rent to the lord of the manor in apricots. So, yeah. Ideal soil conditions saw the fruit thrive in E02 Ho, a small village near the southernmost border of Northamptonshire, known as the Apricot Village.
Now, despite what John has been trying to tell you about Batsman's Drive on our drive over, as you'd probably expect, there is a cricket relation. Unfortunately, we can't work out which one it is. Since 1882, Rushden seems to have had no less than 16 teams playing cricket in the town. And in fact, when you look around the current Rushden Cricket Club, you can see roads named after cricket terms too, including Headingley Road and Trafford Road.
So, Martin, are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm a bit peckish.
How do you fancy going to Bacon Road?
Sounds ideal.
Let's go.
I love me the bacon. Britain's first ever car chase happened in Northamptonshire. Car chases are the focal point of all the best cop shows, and sorry, doing a Jamie Theakston voice. And Northampton can boast that they had the first real car chase in British history in 1899. Frederick John Phillips.
In 1899?
Yep, I've got Frederick John Phillips was scamming shop owners in Northampton by telling them that they would receive free tickets to the Barnum and Bailey Circus if they put up posters, asking for an upfront deposit, which he did not intend on refunding. Sergeant MacLeod was alerted about it, waved down a local tailor, one of the 3 people in Northampton to own a car at the time, whilst driving his 3.5 horsepower Benz.
So, as we're going to Bacon Drive,
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Martin.
Okay.
And it's an age-old question.
Okay.
If you have a piece of bacon, or a number of pieces of bacon, between 2 pieces of bread, be that sliced bread or some form of sort of round bread, what would you call it?
Interestingly, despite what I call other things, I call this a bacon sandwich.
Incorrect.
Oh, no.
It's a bacon butty.
Butty. Okay, I thought you were going to go for cob.
Well, technically where we're from, and where you're from, you should really call it a bacon cob.
Yeah.
I'm from North, so I prefer a bacon butty.
Butty.
Or a bap is also perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, I think butty's pretty acceptable, isn't it? Like, everyone loves a good bacon
Take
butty.
the second exit.
Absolutely.
Here's a second question, bacon related then. Do you have fat on or fat off?
Please take the second exit at the roundabout onto the A14.
This is a weird
This
road.
is a really weird
I
junction.
think you're in the right place.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because we actually don't want that wherever. That's confusing.
Yeah.
Fat on or fat off? Given the choice, fat off. I actually like my bacon quite crispy.
Same. It's got to be crispy.
I don't like it so that it's still, fleshy. I
Yeah.
like it.
No, I agree.
Slightly burnt, to be honest. Not quite burnt.
No, I know what you mean though.
I thought we were going to get out there.
And then, of course, the final question: what sauce do you have on your bacon butty?
I'm a really bad northerner. Tomato ketchup.
That's fine. I'm all for that. If I'm feeling middle class, I chuck some brie and sweet chili jam on.
Ooh.
Yeah. I could just see a Waitrose out the corner of my eye. And
That'd do it. Well, I'm afraid, Martin, I think the bacon puns have sizzled out.
Hey! Oh, I always knew you were telling porkies.
Hey!
Oh God, it's gone to this already.
That's terrible, isn't it? So, Martin,
Hello.
look what's ahead of us. Are you hungry?
Oh, bacon!
Welcome to Bacon Road.
Bacon!
Now, despite all our pork jokes, Bacon Road actually sits in a reasonably modern estate full of artist references. Alongside Bacon, we find Varley, Lowry, Constable, Hogarth, and Turner, amongst others.
So, Martin, do you know where we're going next?
Well, actually, just before we go next on your one, just as we were up the road there, I saw the perfect accompaniment to bacon. Can I just ask you to go somewhere quickly?
Okay.
Up there,
go.
turn right.
So, where are you taking me, Martin?
Well, I feel like you've got me on a bit of a foodie theme, and as we were driving up to Bacon Road, I saw probably my favourite large building name that I think I've seen for the whole trip. So I want to just show you this and see whether you're thinking about it. But I think it's a perfect accompaniment for bacon.
Okay.
Very,
I'm intrigued.
yeah, exactly. You'll see some of these road names here, which makes me believe that it might be linked to surnames along here. Reynolds,
Yeah.
Turner.
Stranger than bacon is just completely
Yeah,
separate.
just baked on. So if you turn left here, and in 1 minute's time we'll be at the road I saw. So the problem is I think it's quite a small road, so we may miss it first time.
Now, we weren't coming out to have a look at Potato Hall, we just found it along the way, and when looking at maps, the actual road Potato Hall no longer exists. What we do know about Northamptonshire is that it has a long history with potato farming, and it can only be presumed that that is where the origins are from. Perhaps the old building was a headquarters. As you'd expect, this road name does always appear in the top 10 rudest road names in Britain, alongside its West Midlands counterpart. But the history of this one is very simple. It is indeed named after the Bell Inn pub that has since closed.
Tell you what, John, after a fantastic view of your bell end there, would you mind showing me your pudding bag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, what a friend's
Go look
for.
at my pudding bag.
Althorpe House has been the stately home to the Spencer family for almost 500 years,
Oh, wow.
and is the final resting place of Princess Diana. You can visit to see Lady Diana's personal artefacts. The Rushden Hall in Rushden is said to be haunted by an Italian maid who was betrayed by Lord Cullen, and witnesses say she haunts the building in a white bridal outfit. I am looking forward to seeing your pudding bag, John.
Really?
I don't know why I claim it's yours, but
Yeah, whoever said it was my pudding bag?
I don't know. So this is the town of, what was it called? Bozeat?
Bozeat.
Bozeat.
Yeah, in the town of Bozeat.
The town of Bozeat. And hopefully on our left,
Well, you say town, I think probably more village.
Church Lane. So is in amongst the churches a pudding bag?
Apparently so.
Interesting.
Whilst in culinary terms, a pudding bag is exactly that, a bag that you place a pudding in and then steam, it would seem that the term Pudding Bag Lane was actually a common road name for a road that was a cul-de-sac with just one opening at the end. In fact, looking over the country, there are many pudding bag lanes. There's also one in Leicestershire that we didn't cover, just up the road in Shepshed.
So, Martin, do you know where we're going next?
I don't.
Well, we're going to go show you some Titty Ho.
Oh, amazing. So we've had, what have we had so far? We've had the bell end, we've had the sandwich bag, the pudding bag, and now you're going to show me some Titty Ho. I have been spoilt today.
Most importantly, the Titty Ho Motor Co.
The Titty Ho. Come to the Titty Ho Motor Co. for all your motoring needs. What?
What? Hello.
The world's first radar demonstration took place in Daventry on February the 26th, 1935.
That is genuinely very cool.
Yeah. This is a good one. Northampton. 3/4 of the town was destroyed by a spark from an open fire in a house.
Exit the roundabout.
Wow.
The spark came from a house with an open fire on St Mary's Street that quickly spread through the streets. The Great Fire was described by witnesses as being more furious and more destructive than the Great Fire of London. Ah, well, I can see a car dealership.
What's the name of the dealership there, Martin?
Well, you should buy your next car from the Titty Ho Motor Co. Ah, so we're on Titty Ho. Is that the only road sign?
I think so.
Right in front of the car dealership. They won't mock us at all.
Mocker? No, I didn't see one of those.
Oh, John, you're such a wit. Let's go and have a look at the Titty Ho Motor Co.
Now, unfortunately with Titty Ho, there does not seem to be any kind of record as to how the road gained its name. We also know that the motor company next door arrived far after the road itself. Now, despite the immature sounding name of one part of it, the town of Raunds has an interesting history. During the 1980s, excavations in the nearby Nene Valley revealed some remains of a Roman villa. This was in addition to finding medieval buildings such as a church and manor house the previous decade. It's also been the site of prehistoric findings unearthed by English Heritage. Perhaps one day, a discovery may help archaeologists to determine exactly where the name Titty Ho comes from.
John, do you know what we just parked next to?
Titty Ho Motor Co.
The Titty Ho Motor Co, which backs onto Hogsdyke.
Hogsdyke Road?
No.
Just
The dike.
Oh, the dike. The dike is called.
The dike, the Hogdyke,
Hogdyke
which
Road.
goes into the Hogdyke River Nene.
So from the Titty Ho Motor Co to Hogdyke, but then where are we going next?
Well,
you've got the list.
we're going to Butts Road.
Butts Road.
Butts
This
Road.
sounds familiar.
I like that we've gone from, we visited a Hogsdyke after we'd been to Bacon Road.
From Bacon Road to Hogsdyke.
Hogsdyke. I may as well keep this on, it's 3 minutes away. The River Nene runs through. The River Nene runs through Northampton and is the UK's 10th longest river at 161 kilometres. It starts in Arbury Hill, Northamptonshire, and flows to the Wash in Norfolk and Lincolnshire.
So, Martin, we've arrived at
Butts Lane!
Amazing.
I've
Except
lied.
it's actually
It's
Butts
Butts
Road.
Road. I'm so sorry.
But we've seen so many butts on our adventure.
Oh, I feel like this is going to be the best butt of all. There is no way we could follow this up with another butt.
No, absolutely not. Should we go and check out Butts Road?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Hi there, John. John, I've just had some bad news. The producers have just been in touch. That's John. I just told you there was only one Butts Road in Northamptonshire.
Yeah, there is. We're here.
Yeah,
Well, we're leaving here.
there's another one.
What?
I've double butted.
Oh.
Now, with both of these Butts Road, we have actually covered this in our previous Leicestershire episode. Both of these are to do with archery. In archery, a butt is either a target or a mound of earth behind the target used to catch arrows that are badly aimed. During medieval times, archery was an important skill, and in the 15th century, Edward IV made archery compulsory on both Sundays and holidays. Butts had to be set up in every town, which were used for practice. Often, streets were named after that, where they were near, or things to which they gave access. So this is where Butts Road and the neighbouring Butts related roads got its name.
Right. After all that, I feel like we should go back to our foodie theme. I feel like we've had too many bodily fluids today. I'd love to go back to more like an edible thing.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking? What do you want to eat?
Oh, I don't feel we got enough pudding from Pudding Bag Lane. So maybe some more pudding. Maybe a pie.
Pie? Yeah.
I'd love a pie. There's a vast history of witchcraft in England, and Northampton is no exception. 5 alleged witches were accused of crimes. 3 of the witches were apparently riding on the back of a pig when they were arrested.
Well, all of them at the same time?
Apparently so.
It's an impressive pig. Shall we go and check out Pie Corner?
I'd love a bit of pie.
Might have a bit of a soggy bottom though in this weather.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, as with a lot of these streets in Northamptonshire, Pie Corner remains a little bit of a mystery to us. Whilst there are some pie awards and various prizes that have been won in Northamptonshire, there's nothing connecting this area with the word pie. However, what we can say by the spelling is that it is identical to a very famous pie corner in London. The Great Fire of London supposedly ended at Pie Corner. Whether this was just named in tribute, we won't know. However, what we can see from the records is that Northampton did also have a huge fire in its history.
Well, it's definitely ended up a bit of a wet journey, but I was really pleased that we got to see the Northamptonshire pie rectangle, so I was happy with that.
I don't like a wet pie corner though, it's a bit sad.
No, exactly. Hey ho, maybe it's called Pie Corner because Muller Corner was taken.
Maybe.
That's been really good. I'm really glad we came out to Northamptonshire today.
Yeah, should we do it again?
What about next Tuesday?
Oh, it's a great idea. Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Now, you probably noticed it was a lot harder to get facts this time round. It took a lot longer to find out all the information. Therefore, on the day, we provided alternative facts. Have a look at that video below.
Thank you for watching, and do please like, share and subscribe.
Ding ding!